I'm Doug Schoen. We're back with Campaign Insiders, Pat Goodell, John LeBoutelier. Let's go to soundbite 7, Ron Paul at the Nevada convention, and talk about Nevada and Maine. What happened, I guess, when Ron Paul won, 21 of 25 delegates in Nevada? And Maine, John, what was the...
23. That's a lot in Maine, too.
Yeah. Did he take control of Maine?
I think he did.
Yeah. So my question is, what are the implications, guys, for the continued presence of Ron Paul as a force? We're getting tweets about him. We got them yesterday when we were doing Campaign Insiders on the news channel. What are the implications?
Well, there are a couple. First of all, let's understand something. His organization is very good in these small, arcane-ruled, dominated events. And what they're doing is they're stealing delegates from Romney in terms of the people. Most of these states still bind these delegates to vote as the results were. But he is electing, this is happening all over the country. Apparently half of Massachusetts, I just read this morning, also he elected the delegates rather than the Romney delegates. In Romney's home state.
One of his
Can he deny Romney the nomination?
No, of course not. Nor can he tie it up. The fact is, though, it does go to the point that John has made before. Romney has to deal with Paul. Paul has a particular constituency that neither candidate really has gotten. I'll let you speak to that, John. But the third thing is, it just tells you that the Romney campaign is about this deep against a campaign against Obama that is a mile deep.
Do you remember several months ago?
They can't organize their conventions and get their delegates elected?
Yeah. Do you remember what we used to cover at night here on FoxNews.com, the debates, and it was speculated, written about during the debates, that the only one of the other candidates that Ron Paul never went after in the debates was Mitt Romney. Remember that? It was written about, and how, they have some sort of secret deal or something. Now here we are. The last two remaining candidates are Romney and Ron Paul. No attempt that we know of publicly by Romney to reach out to Ron Paul. It's almost a dismissive thing. I ask you guys this. November. Which has more force to it? Ralph Nader in 2000, who won Florida for George W. Bush, right? Who has more? Ralph Nader in 2000, Ron Paul in 2012.
Time will tell.
Yeah, but it could be.
It could be.
It could be one state.
The point Pat was making before about Europe that I would want to underscore. We are in uncharted times. The fact that we have swing states that are effectively tied, a national election that's effectively tied, to me is less important than what we've all been saying, and particularly Mr. Goodell, which is that the electorate is polarized, divided, and angry, with the emphasis on anger. And do I believe that a Ron Paul could shake things up disproportionately? I could. Less because of who he is than what he represents.
That's an option for people, and this is why I keep saying, because his vote, we saw it all through the primaries, we talked about it on election nights, primary nights, his vote, he has a lot of Democrats and independents, by the way, who are against our involvement overseas, which upsets a lot of the Republican base, but it appeals to voters. He's very libertarian. He appeals to a lot of regular conservatives on the Fed and on the budget and so forth. It is an interesting coalition approach. These are voters that neither other of the parties know how to speak to. And Romney needs to find a way to accommodate Paul and his own party. Otherwise, he's going to end up with a convention floor full of Paul delegates, whether they can vote for him or not, or will vote. They may bolt. They may cause a ruckus. They better address this. I was totally off my radar scope till yesterday when we got the first tweets. I give our viewers.
Do you agree with that?
I think it's much bigger than people know, and it's the only remaining alternative to Romney for people to go towards if they want to.
We have an economy that's failing right now. I mean, it's back to what we saw the last 2 years. The job report was terrible. The only reason the unemployment was down, the 115,000 jobs added was terribly small in expectation. Less than half of what it was in January and February, and that wasn't great. And we had 363,000 people leave the workforce. Now, I'm telling you, this is, and that's the reason. If the unemployment rate, if the participation in work were the same level as it was of the population when Obama took office, the unemployment rate would be 11%. The American economy is in trouble. We saw what it's doing in Europe. It's going to have an impact. And Ron Paul, this protest, this desire to say something, when neither party, we have a president out saying, a vice president yesterday who said, oh, you know what, this recovery is just like on the same track of every other recovery, which is disingenuous to be kind. And then we have Romney out saying, just vote for me if you don't like what's going on, with no program.
We don't have